Oh no, it's fine. Okay. All right, it's good. That's good. Okay. Candle trends. Candle trends are mostly noticeable in trending markets. It's obviously right. Whenever you're looking at the charts, you're only looking at to see that okay, um, is the market trending or not? So candle trends are most noticeable in a trending market. What this basically means is that a candle trend will either start from a support or a resistance. Either candles are going to start moving bullish from supports or they'll start moving bearish from resistances. Best form of confirmation is on the 30-minute and higher time frames. Guys, tattoo this on your hand, forehead, write it down, a sticky note, paste it on the computer, whatever. But the best form of confirmation is on the 30-minute time frames and higher. If the trend is bearish or there is a confirmation at retest, candles will make lower lows and lower highs. Whenever price reaches a resistance and you have a candle closing bearish, there's a very high chance candles will make lower lows and lower highs. In the same way, if the trend is bullish or there's a confirmation at support, candles will make higher highs and higher lows. This is extremely important concept. Extremely important concept. Right? So candle trends, every trade from here on that you will focus on is going to be based on a trending candles. When candles are making higher highs and higher lows, or when candles are making lower highs and lower lows, there will be no instant where you will be taking a trade when candles are consolidating. It just makes no sense because we're here to make money, and for you to put yourself in the best position to make money or win trades is to focus on candles trending. This is really important. So this is an example of a trending candle, right? You have a bearish candle, let's say it's at resistance, and now you want the next one to make a lower high and a lower low. So this is your trading candle, right? Some people say that, hey, we're going to wait for this confirmation. Man, this is your confirmation right here. This candle closing is your confirmation right here. If this is on a 30-minute or a 1-hour time frame, this is your confirmation saying that there's a very high chance for the next candle to continue moving bearish. Right? In the same way, when we're talking about bullish candles, this is what we're talking about right here. Now, when candles is closing bullish, this is maybe let's say this is your support after like a bearish candle. This is your confirmation. Now, this means if this happens on the 30-minute or the 1 hour, you know that there's a very high chance that the next candle is going to go bullish, and that will be your trading candle. Right? That will be your trading candle. For candles not to trend, we look at something like this. If you see that this candle is bearish, you want the next candle to also go bearish, right? But let's say if you put your stop up over here, next candle goes bullish, it stops you out. Oh well, that's okay because you managed your risk. This is why having a stop loss is really important. If you don't use stop losses and if you let trades run, man, they will go in a drawdown and you will not feel good. Trust me on that. I've been there and it's not a good feeling at all. In the same way, when we're looking at candles going bullish, you want the next candle to form a higher high and a higher low. But sometimes the probability is not in your favor, and that's totally okay. Sometimes, guys take it very personal. They're like, hey man, I had a buy and I expected candle to make a higher highs and higher lows, and how come it went bearish and stopped me out? It is what it is. It's a probability game. There's a very high probability price will continue moving bullish, and there's a low probability price will go bearish. And sometimes you're going to be at the end of the low probability stick. You will get stopped out, and that's going to happen less time you will get stopped out. So the only thing you can control at that point is your risk. Like, what sort of a risk are you using today? So let's continue on over here. And so when candles are trending, this is like, take a picture of this, write it down somewhere. This is this is simple concept, but it's really important. When candles are trending, they must respect the highs in a bearish trend. They must respect the lows in a bullish trend. And what I mean by this is the candles themselves, they should respect words. higher time frame candles versus lower time frame candles, right? So this is really important when you're trying to execute trades, right? This is important in a way that, let's say when you're looking at the 4-hour candle, you're looking at the 4-hour candle and you're like, okay, well, I expect the 4-hour candle to continue moving bullish, and now I want to jump down to the smaller time frames, and I have to figure out what do I need to see in the smaller time frames to execute on the higher time frames, right? Or how does the smaller time frame candles, they create the higher time frame candles? This is the most important part of trading which you will face. Now, once we go into these examples, please don't ask what if this, what if that happens, or what if this happens, and because those are, then once we start talking about what ifs, then there are infinite number of outcomes. So we're just going to talk about what's presented to us. So let's say we have a 4-hour candle right over here, and this 4-hour candle is broken down into 4 1-hour candles, right? So for the 1 hour, for the 4-hour, we made a low, we continued going up, and then we made a high, right? For the 1 hour, so you had 4 1-hour candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, that formed the overall 4-hour candle. So the 1-hour candle started from the bottom, and now we're here. So started from the bottom, it went up, right? So you see how this was the main volume of the 4-hour candle, right? This is the main volume of the 4-hour candle, and after this, the 1-hour candle moved up. You saw that, so you would expect the next 1 hour to continue moving bullish, and you would say, okay, the 4-hour has to move bullish. But since you're waiting for the candles to close, you're looking at the candle here. This candle closed a weak bullish candle, right? What does this mean based on volume? We talked about volume. If you guys have been making notes, I want to know what this means based on volume. Leroy said low volume. I hope he's correct. Well, I guess only Leroy knows the answer out of 300 people here. Awesome, perfect. Indecision, low volume, that's good, right? So guys, listen, I need some interactivity, So now when we're going to go in examples, I'll need a lot of interactivity to keep me engaged, or I'm going to get bored. Perfect. So you had a candle close like that, which meant that there's going to be less volume here now, right? So like, okay, we're going to wait for the next one. Next one also closed with less volume, like, okay, and then the one after that, it made a high, but it closed like this. I don't know where to message. Oh, if you're in YouTube, you can just measure it in the chat in YouTube, or you can message in the or you can message right over here. Yeah, there are a bunch of questions in the question answer box here on Zoom. I'm probably going to answer them at the very end. Okay, so perfect. So this is how the 4-hour candle closed. So you had a high over here, which was the high over here, and low down here, and which was the low down here. So just looking at how these candles are formed. So let's move on to our next example here, and let's see what we have in store. So next we have, this is the 4-hour candle, and this is the 1-hour candle, right? So just by looking at the 4-hour candle right now, can someone where's the chat box? Okay, right here, right? So can you, what's the probability of the next 1-hour candle to go down? It's pretty high, right? Because the 1-hour candles, they kind of like it was bearish. This was kind of like this. This was like a doji candle. This finished bearish like this, closed below these candles. And the 4-hour candle is bearish. So if we're expecting the next 4-hour candle to continue down, which means the next 4 1-hour candles need to form in a way that they will continue moving bearish as well. So if we move forward, we'll see that, okay, 4-hour candle did indeed move bearish. Now we want to see, what did we want to see on the 1 hour for it to move bearish? So this is how the 1-hour candle formed, right? So if you notice, the first 1-hour candle, it went all the way down over here, and it retraced and came all the way back up. The most important